currently we're working on fixing up one of the prototypes to send out to a reviewer. We had a huge delay with Game Crafter, which really set us back on that. We would have had those out probably with 3 to 4 weeks with a lead time, which is what we try to give our reviewers. But things happen. That's the way this works. And so right now we've already got 6 copies out. This is our 7th copy. We're prepping that today, along with drinking coffee, because we like coffee. One of the things here is like, this is kind of how this is how our Kickstarters typically start off the page. It's literally just drawing the stuff out and putting it where we think it goes. Then it transfers over to the actual page, and the page, I typically just drop in some placeholders to get things in place. So like, this is not what it'll end up looking like, but it's just some stuff thrown together. And then we just really type stuff out, and I take pictures of things. That's an actual image that I want the graphics team to make. So I just lay it out, pencil it out. That's actually a picture that I drew, and just snap a picture of it and drop it in where I want it to go. So really like throw it together as quickly and easily as you can, just to get all the information on the page. And then from there, I'm not going to show you guys the stretch goals. Oh no, I can't show you that. So we'll fire by that. And you can just kind of drop everything in here, and then I'll grab graphics from old campaigns. Like this is the Meet the Team from Grim Forest, but it just gives me a visual idea of how long the page is and where everything goes.
I am actually building out a media calendar for Sorcerer City Instagram content.
Ah, nice.
More so I don't forget anything, but just kind of getting a plan of what kind of stories we want to share, what posts we want to feature in the news feed. We got a bunch of pictures yesterday, Kelby and I did, and I got some the other day of just components and just really cool shots to share out. So this is the only way I can stay on top of it, is by scheduling, or at least make myself a note.
Kelby, are you doing anything productive? Are you shopping? Are you shopping
Facebooking.
You Facebooking and shopping for what was it? Plants or something? Shrubs.
I need shrubs. Someone tell me where I can get the best shrubs in Tuscaloosa. I need mature shrubs. Ones have already gone out. So technically you've told them that they went out already.
Super high-end Ziploc bag prototype right here. We label everything. Hey, board game makers, label your bags for your reviewers, because you probably have a thrown together rule book, and it's really hard for them to discern stuff, especially if you have 204 tiles in your base game like we do. Come out here and get some food, and so we like Taco Mama. Who doesn't like tacos, right? And one problem is it's such a beautiful day. It's like mid-80s today, that we are everybody else in Tuscaloosa has the same exact thought, was to come drink a margarita, have a taco, and sit on the deck. So, but that's what we're doing, and then we'll be back to work. Are you about to tell me bad news that we can't have tacos and margaritas?
Yeah, let's go to Heat Pizza. Like the outdoor space at Heat Pizza is good.
Justin Chans is working on some art for Sorcerer City. How awesome is that? You guys are on the vlog right now.
What's up?
Woo! We need more camera gear in here, George.
I'll do better next time. We're using half the lighting today is stuff that you have, so.
Like I said, hold on, I'm making this here Sorcerer City post.
My phone is a piece of garbage. 36% is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's also very slow.
It's all smashed.
Yeah.
Dan, are you having fun?
I am, except for this. It makes your hands really gross. And I've already cleaned them like 5 times.
The laser cutter
I also cleaned the tiles.
burns the edges of the cardboard. And yeah, that's just the way prototypes are. How you like cutting out those little tiny flags?
My hands are about to fall off.
Is that a bad thing? Evil laugh. Just finished filming our why Kickstarter video, which has been on my to-do list for 2 weeks. Oh, we got some really important files over to Noah at Game Trace. It was really important that he had a certain few files. He is doing, we're gonna have deluxe edition in this game, and it has metal coins. And so he is actually doing the designs of that for us, and he needed to get a few more things so that he could get that over to Mr. David and Lena of Mr. Cuddington, because they are working on getting that last little bit of design work for the Kickstarter page up and ready. It's super stressful every time we do this, because A, we're a little bit of perfectionists. We want things to be just so and just right, and maybe we bring a lot of this on to ourselves, but you know, it's just one of the things. Oh, and I have daddy daycare tomorrow and Friday. I didn't tell you guys about that, but I'm doing Stella is mine for the next 2 days, because Sandra is going on a out-of-town field trip with Parker. So I have to take her and pick her up from school while we do Thursday and Friday things. If you guys have seen my daughter, I love her dearly, but dear
So cute.
Lord, she is a handful. So that's gonna make Thursday and Friday not quite as productive. Conversation with Edo, he was giving me, like, one of the things I love about our community is you can say, hey, check this out, let me know what you think. Or like in Ed's case, he was like, hey, I've got a couple of things I want to talk to you about. You got a minute? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And so then he gave me a couple points, and that spurned on a conversation that helped us make some changes. Nothing big, but little tweaks that, it's like moving the needle a little bit. Like these multiple little just chunks moving the needle down the line is going to end up making the campaign better because of the feedback from everybody. And that's one of the reasons why I love this, you know, community, quote-unquote competitors, other board game publishers reaching out and saying, hey, here's a way I think you could help. You know, I was talking to Gavin about funding quests versus stretch goals. That's been a big topic. Him and Jamie talked about it. I know he come under fire a little bit for the first 2 days for Dice Throne. The big advantages of the funding quest structure, because at the end of the day, that's a structure that is more conducive to actually like getting the things into the game and in a way that's less gamey. Like it's like these are the things we want to get in, and we need to keep drawing attention to the campaign throughout. So I really liked it, and I thought it was awesome. So I don't know if we can pivot fast enough to set up our structure in such a way, but that's some of the things that we're considering. Even last minute, like we are within single digits days of going, and we're still considering some things that we might do differently, because you just kind of have to do that. My phone's ringing. Where they're just like the robocalls. Hello, robo person.
Hi, is this Hip City Games?
Wow, this is an actual human. This never happens.
I was actually calling to get a fax number to send over a verification of employment.
Oh, we don't have a fax number. This is not 1995. What? Can you just shoot me an email and I can get you what you need and scan it?
I definitely can. What's a good email? All right, I'll send it right over. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
Bye-bye.
That was embarrassing. Anyway, I'm about to go feed them because, no, let's be honest, I'm going to eat too. Are we going to go to Lusa? Is today a Lusa day for the Dana said, I hope so.
Is it a Lusa day?
I hope so every day. You're a funny boy. Well, sometimes it's coffee, sometimes it's Lusa, which you guys have seen. So I think the stress levels of everyone in the room says it's a Lusa day. I agree. This window light is gorgeous. Looks my complexion, like all my blemishes are gone.
Are you admiring yourself?
I was just like looking and I was like, man, that is on fleek. You know what the kids say?
Please don't say that again.
The things that we're targeting as we get ready to set up our campaigns on Facebook, YouTube. I know those are kind of our two big ones.
Those are our two biggest channels of hitting people. So for Facebook and YouTube are kind of similar. We do a lot of custom targeting, And what that allows you to do in Facebook in particular, you can target based on people's interests, what pages they like, their view history, browsing history. Yes, Facebook and Google both collect your data and your browsing history, FYI. So what that allows us to do is to target people who are interested in board games specifically. So one big group of ours are board game interests, tabletop game interests. YouTube is what I'm working on today, and that I've set up a custom affinity audience to test for Sorcerer City in particular. So we're going to be targeting people who are interested in Kickstarter board game specifically, just that. It goes off of a few things: your browsing history, your time on site on certain placements. So we're going to be hitting people who search for Kickstarter board games and people who have visited the Kickstarter.com website.
I don't want Big Brother watching me. I would say it's the exact opposite, because before the age of cookies, I would get Metamucil ads when I was 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need a Metamucil ad. What I do like about cookies is I get presented things that are relevant interest to me.
Absolutely.
And so like some of the stuff that we can do, we can even make sure that people that are tapped into our own brands, whether it be newsletter or they follow us on our page or anything like that, we can make sure they know that we have things going on when we have things going on, like, I don't know, a Kickstarter.
Especially people who've already backed us on Kickstarter. That's a big audience too, because you know that they're interested in your brand, your quality of game. So those are, hopefully, fingers crossed, people who are definitely interested in any future game we put out. So
cool.
Yeah.
Just a couple days away, and typically this close to the campaign, you're really just trying to hone in things, like make sure everything's nice and neat. You're checking all your pledge levels, make sure that you have all your shipping numbers in there correctly, because once you launch the campaign, you can't change your pledge levels, so you want to make sure that those are precisely on the money. But today, instead, we've been changing a bunch of our artwork. Oh, not stressful at all. Why do I say that? Well, you know, we've had, you take feedback, right? One of the big and best things about crowdsourcing and doing a Kickstarter is making something, putting it in front of people, and then getting feedback. Now, you're going to get, no matter what you make, right, you're going to get some negative feedback. Like, people, no matter what, a lot of art is subjective. I had somebody teach me once, they said it's the 99-1 rule. 90% of the people who consume your products are never going to say anything. 9% are going to have something to say, and 1% are going to be the loudest, and they're going to make the most noise. You don't really positively or negatively base anything on the 1%. It's when that encroaches into the 9%. And we saw this starting to happen with a couple of elements from our game. So we were seeing, there's one particular art piece that I wasn't necessarily in love with myself, and it was our marketplace tent. It's one of those things where you say something, you hit a deadline, and you just go with it, and then by the time it gets to the end, you're like, how did we end up with this thing? You might be saying to yourself, I would never do that. It can happen. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It just didn't really fit with the rest of the things in the game, and that's what, you know, people were pointing out. And so we made a change, and I'm gonna throw it up on the screen, let you guys see it. Maybe here. And then what it's gonna be now is the new marketplace. Damien did a great job of getting those getting it turned around and getting it done. We're also gonna go ahead and rework our influence board to be in the same style, mainly just because you know, we want that cohesiveness from the heavy line art from the cover into our characters, into our landscapes, into the tiles, all the way through. It's pretty stressful to change something this late, because it means you end up having to rework a lot of files and get things requoted, but it makes the game experience better. That's what matters. And so that's what we've done today, in addition to all the other things, like getting all of our media assets lined up. So like we were getting our banners over to Chad at BGG so that things are ready to roll. You know, I wouldn't recommend waiting this late to get yourself together and make a change this late in the game, but I would tell you that if you're getting a lot of critical feedback, and I know at first it stings, it feels like people are attacking you, it feels very hurtful, push those emotions to the side and start to analyze, is there something to what they're saying? You know, sometimes you can say, well, man, this person's typically hypercritical, so it doesn't surprise me that they have something critical to say. But if it starts to show up, that same comment starts to show up from random pockets, there's something to it, and then you need to do something about it. That's what's going to make your product better. So hopefully what we've done today and what we're going to do over the weekend till we're ready to launch on Tuesday, we round out the project and we take care of a hurdle, we take care of a speed bump before it ever becomes a speed bump. And you know what, frankly, all I can do is thank the community for that, because as we put things out and we get honest feedback, and you know, that's our thing, that's why we do Kickstarters. It's to have these experiences. This is why you're a Kickstarter backer. You want to give into a game. Friday, guys, that's it for this vlog. I love you guys. If I don't vlog before Tuesday, which I probably won't, I'm gonna be insanely busy. Please back our game, even if it's $1, just to follow along and show your support. That viral network, then when you back, they get an alert, it helps across the board. So don't think that $1 is like an insulting follow. No, please do. Please follow it, and you know, maybe later we convince you and you jump in later. So this has been the lead up to Sorcerer City, and we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.